Now with that next inhale, lift and bring yourself back onto hands and knees. And really use that inhale to come up nice and slow. Going back to hands and knees. Good. And then just take a moment here to sway those hips. Take them a little bit side to side. Just letting those hips loosen up. Let the low back loosen up. Good. Beautiful. And then when you're ready, come back to tabletop. Find that gentle hugging of baby towards the spine. Tuck your toes under, and then sit back on your heels, coming into hero pose. So you're sitting back on the heels. Good. Now for some of us, we might not be able to reach the heels. We might need to grab that blanket that we have and bring it in between the calves and the backs of the thighs. So Carla's showing us that variation. Jamie's also bringing her block underneath her and sitting on the block. Good. Yeah, so we'll be able to just breathe, find a nice tall spine, chest opened up. Good. So that next inhale, reach the arms overhead. And as you exhale, bring your hands down in front of your heart. Nice job. Good. Now we'll make our way all the way onto our bottom. So you can just slide off those heels, come onto one hip, and then just bring your legs out in front. Go ahead and let them be straight at first. Maybe even take the feet side to side. Let those knees just go a little bit side to side. Good. And then when you're ready, you're going to bring the soles of the feet together. Knees are going to go out to the side. And you're going to create very little space between the heels and your hips. So you're going to draw those heels in. Good. Yeah, and you're probably going to be able to grab your shins. You might be able to grab your feet or your ankles here. Sit nice and tall on that inhale. And rather than trying to think about pressing or forcing your knees to the ground, let your inner thighs soften. Feel your sits bones on the earth. Tailbone reaching down, not tucking under. Shoulders down the back. Good. Jamie's going to show us another variation here. If you just find yourself not comfortable straight on your bottom, come onto the edge of that pillow, that blanket, and give those hips just a little lift. Good. If you feel like you want a little more, you can always take those elbows, bring them to the inside of your knees or the inside of your thighs, and then just give a little encouragement of the knees towards the earth. Good. As you inhale, think about elongating the spine. As you exhale, feel it softening down into those sits bones, your inner thighs softening. Very good. From here, we're going to move towards opening that space. Now we're going to let those heels come away from our hips, away from our groin, opening the space within our legs, keeping the soles of the feet together. Just going to push those feet out a little bit. Good. From here, we're going to hinge a little bit forward. So now you might be grabbing onto more of your shins or around the knees. You're going to inhale to find length in your spine. And as you exhale, hinge forward. Try not to round into that lower back. Really hinge from those hips. Think about lengthening your spine, reaching up with the crown of the head, down with the tailbone. Good. Here again, those elbows might help the knees just open up if that feels okay for you. Really, truly, you don't need to do that. You can, again, just focus more on softening and relaxing those inner thighs. Good. Now here, it's going to be different for all of us. It's going to really depend on where you are in your pregnancy and how big that little bitty human is in your body. So you might want to keep the spine more elongated and just hinge forward. Or some of them you might feel comfortable rounding a little bit. So rounding the back, dropping the head. If baby feels like their space is being shortened, they're going to let you know. You might get a little elbow in the rib or a kick in the rib. Then you get that, just elongate, give baby some more space. Good. So now our stretch has shifted a little bit from those inner thighs to now those outer glutes, outer hips. Good. From here, as you inhale, you might even walk those hands up the legs, supporting the back as you come back to that tall spine, sitting really tall. Good. Inhale, reach the arms overhead. And exhale, hands in front of the heart. Beautiful. We're going to move towards a reverse tabletop. So you might scoot your bottom forward just a little bit. If your wrists are really tender, really sore, let those fingers face out, away from the hips. If your wrists are okay, you'll bring those fingertips towards the hips. And as we inhale, you're going to press into the feet. So yes, sorry, the knees are bent, the feet are flat on the floor. As you inhale, press into your arms, press into the feet, and bring those hips up nice and soft. Good. Now, again, it's going to depend on where you are and how you're feeling today and how high those hips go. So you can work on getting more towards a reverse tabletop and getting those hips really high, or you just focus on the breath, getting those hips as high as you want to go, feeling a nice stretch on the thighs, on the biceps, the arms, the shoulders. Good. One nice big inhale, pressing to the legs. And as you exhale, lower down nice and slow. Good. Now from here, we'll make our way onto our back. So you can either just drop onto the elbows from here or kind of roll to one side and come down. The key though is to really support your body with your arms as you come down. Try not to use your abs, which I know we're very used to doing. As you come onto the back, just take a moment to then pull your knees towards your chest. Now again, it's going to look very different for us depending on where we are in our pregnancy. So you can just bring the knees in towards the chest. You might let those knees go really wide apart, creating space for our baby bumps. And you might even move towards a happy baby, if that's okay and that's comfortable on you. But again, just rock a little side to side. That's going to feel really good on that sacrum. Good. Very nice. Now for some mamas, we feel comfortable on our back. For others, we don't. And that's okay. We won't be here for much longer. We're actually going to move from here towards our Shavasana. So if you are comfortable on your back and you just want to let those legs go straight, or for some of us, we might need to roll to our left side and just come into a fetal position on our left side. And then of course you can use all those props we had earlier, the blocks, the blankets, anything to help you feel supported. Bolsters are beautiful, whether you're on your side, you can bring them in between the knees or under that top leg. Like Carla here is on her back, and if you're on your back, you could even slide a bolster underneath your knees. That's just going to feel so sweet on that low back. It's a nice way to release the tension out of that low back. So Carla's going to show us that variation, which is very mean of me because she was already laying down and now she's having to get up. Good. So this is where we end. We end our practice in Shavasana. We're going to cut our video here, so you decide to stay as long as you need to. I know some of us just have a short window of time, but do try to give yourself at least several breaths just to soften, relax, let all the benefits of your practice saturate into every cell. Give yourself a little space, and then come up nice and slow, using your arms again to press up. Try not to use those abs as you come up. And thank you for letting us join your practice today. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you, Anastasia. Thank you, Carla. All right, you guys, leave me some comments if you have any questions, and have a great practice.